Kerry was sobbing and shaking, so I wrapped my arms around her tightly, tighter than ever before. We shuffled into the co-joined kitchen dining room and sat still, holding each other. From the other room I heard the voices of the ambulance officers, and I wish I could cry. After some time the male paramedic came and gave us the most sickening news a parent could ever hear. He has been without oxygen for too long. If we do manage to revive him, he won't be the same. Kerry was the first to answer. No, I don't think he would want to live under those circumstances. They stopped the CPR. What happens now? I asked, numbly. We contact the police and they handle it, he replied. I rang Damien, my other son, who was in Launceston at the time. No, he shouted. Come, up ASAP, I said. Later I rang Kirsten, Damien's girlfriend, and told her to text me when Damien had driven past Deloraine. Kerry and I lived in Ulverston. Anxious thoughts ran through my head, and I became more worried as time passed about Damien's driving, where he was, and why it was taking so long. I had just lost one child. I couldn't lose the other one too. The police arrived, and the two young officers spent their whole shift with us. I rang my mum in Melbourne. Oh, Tony, she said, when she heard the news. Then I rang Catherine, Kerry's sister. No, she yelled, and hung up despite my pleas that I needed someone strong right now. Catherine rang back and assuring me I'm coming up on the next plane from Melbourne, she said. The police asked if I wanted to see Ashley and if there were any doctors to notify of his death. They weren't able to contact either of his doctors and arranged for the coroner's car to come up from Launceston. I pleaded with them to look out for Damien. The younger officer asked again if I would like to see Ash, but we shook our heads. It felt like we had had our arm cut off, one that won't grow back. The officer pulled the curtains in Ash's room and shut the door. I heard a car and rushed outside, but it was the coroner arriving before Damien. When the coroner zipped Ashley in a body bag, the sound was harsh and final. It reminded me of nails scraped down a blackboard. When Damien arrived, I rushed out and pulled him into a tight hug, holding him tighter than ever before. Then I told the police over and over, this is my boy, and I didn't want him out of my sight. After the police left, we were exhausted, but we couldn't sleep at all that night.